Welcome to Secret Society's podcast. I'm your host, Ben Carter. In the heart of Yale University, a silent sentinel stands watch. The stone facade of the Skull and Bones Society's tomb hides a labyrinth of secrets. It's a place where future world leaders, captains of industry, and influential figures are initiated into a world of secrecy and power. Yet, beneath this veneer of privilege and tradition, darker threads weave a tapestry of conspiracy and control. The Skull and Bones Society, founded in 1832, is arguably the most infamous secret society in the United States. Its members, known as bonesmen, include former presidents, high-ranking government officials, and influential business leaders. This concentration of power and influence has given rise to theories of global manipulation, puppeteering from the shadows. But one theory stands out from the rest, a chilling proposal that goes beyond mere influence. It suggests that the bonesmen have been experimenting with mind control on a global scale, covertly swaying the thoughts and actions of the populace. But how plausible is this claim? To answer this question, we must delve into the annals of history, back to the 1950s. Here, we find ourselves in the midst of the Cold War, a time of paranoia and suspicion. It was during this era that the CIA launched Project MKUltra, a top-secret program with the aim of developing mind control techniques. The project, now infamous, involved unethical experiments on unwitting subjects and remains shrouded in controversy. But what does this have to do with the Skull and Bones Society? Well, according to some theorists, a lot. It is claimed that several bonesmen held high-ranking positions within the CIA during the MKUltra years, connections that, according to conspiracy theorists, are far from coincidental. One of these men was Richard Bissell, a Skull and Bones alumni who worked as the CIA's Deputy Director for Plans, a role that put him in a prime position to influence the direction of MKUltra. Then, there was William Sloane Coffin, another bonesman who held a senior position in the CIA during this period. He was responsible for recruiting agents, an ideal position for someone with potential access to a pool of Skull and Bones initiates. These connections might seem tenuous, circumstantial at best, yet they form the foundation of a theory that suggests the Skull and Bones Society was not just aware of MKUltra, but actively involved in its execution. A theory that posits these bonesmen used their positions within the CIA to further the society's alleged agenda of global mind control. As we peel back the layers, the connections between the Skull and Bones Society and Project MKUltra become more and more intriguing, compelling us to question the boundaries between fact and fiction, between influence and control. What starts as a simple question about a secret society's potential for global mind control reveals a more complex narrative, one that reaches into the darkest corners of history and power. The Skull and Bones Society is not a recent development in the annals of secret societies. Its origins date back to the year 1832 at Yale University in New Haven, Connecticut. The society was founded by William Huntington Russell and Alphonso Taft, who would later become the Secretary of War under President Ulysses S. Grant. From these esteemed beginnings, the society has grown, selecting only 15 members, or bonesmen, from the junior class at Yale each year. The society's secrecy is intrinsic to its allure. Meetings are held in the Tomb, a windowless sandstone building on Yale's campus, where not a whisper of the proceedings inside has ever been leaked to the outside world. Its members are sworn to secrecy, with many refusing to even confirm their membership. This clandestine nature has sparked countless theories about the society's activities, fueling speculation and intrigue about its true purpose. But why such secrecy? The answer to this question may lie in the society's historical context. Russell founded the Skull and Bones Society during a period of intense societal change in America. The country was rapidly industrializing, and with this came increasing social inequality. Wealth was becoming concentrated in the hands of the few, and the emerging elite sought to consolidate their power. This was also a time of considerable political unrest. The seeds of the Civil War were being sown, and the nation was deeply divided. It's plausible that the society's secrecy was a response to these turbulent times, a way to protect its members and their interests from the outside world. The structure of the society also reflects the hierarchical nature of the society in which it was founded. The selection process is highly exclusive, with only a small number of individuals chosen each year, typically those perceived to have the potential for great influence or power. This exclusivity serves to maintain the society's elite status, reinforcing the divide between the society's members and the rest of the world. This is the backdrop against which the Skull and Bones Society was born. Its origins provide valuable insights into the motivations behind the society, hints that perhaps lend credence to the theories surrounding its alleged involvement in mind control experiments. After all, a society born in a time of societal change and political turmoil, one that values secrecy and exclusivity, might well be driven to protect its interests by any means necessary. As we continue to unravel the connections between the Skull and Bones Society and Project MKUltra, it's essential to bear in mind the society's historical context. The society was not created in a vacuum. It was shaped by the world around it, a world of power, secrecy, and inequality. And it is within this world that we must continue our exploration. The question remains, could this society, born of such tumultuous times, be capable of such extraordinary and ethically dubious endeavors? The mystery continues to deepen. In the labyrinthine world of secret societies, names often emerge that are seemingly larger than life, figures who, whether by design or circumstance, become the faces of these clandestine organizations. In the case of the Skull and Bones Society, several individuals stand out. Perhaps the most well-known is William Huntington Russell, the co-founder of the society. A scion of a prominent Connecticut family, Russell was a man of considerable influence and wealth. His co-founder was Alphonso Taft, a prominent lawyer and politician, and the father of future U.S. President William Howard Taft, who himself would become a member of the society. It's not an overstatement to say that the Skull and Bones Society was born in the corridors of power and privilege. The society also boasts an impressive roster of members, many of whom have gone on to hold influential positions. U.S. Presidents George H.W. Bush and his son George W. Bush, both confirmed members, are perhaps the most notable examples. But the society's reach extends beyond politics. Its members include captains of industry, esteemed academics, and influential figures in the arts and media. The rituals and practices of the Skull and Bones Society are shrouded in secrecy, a key characteristic of many secret societies. It's believed that new members, referred to as knights, are initiated through a series of rituals, some of which involve symbolic death and rebirth. The society's headquarters, known as the Tomb, is reputed to be adorned with skulls and bones, and to contain a collection of artifacts related to death and mortality. The society's sacred texts, if indeed they exist, remain hidden from the public. However, a document leaked in 2012, known as the Russell Trust Association Papers, provides an intriguing glimpse into the society's inner workings. According to these papers, the society is governed by a council of 12 who oversee its operations and the selection of new members. The council is said to meet twice a year in a ceremony known as conclave. The goals and beliefs of the Skull and Bones Society are perhaps the most elusive aspect of all. The society's motto, "Who was the fool? Who the wise man, beggar or king? Whether poor or rich, all's the same in death," suggests a preoccupation with mortality and perhaps a belief in the ultimate equality of all people. But beyond this, little is known. It's possible that the society's true beliefs and goals are known only to its members and are carefully guarded secrets, passed down from generation to generation. Understanding these key figures, rituals, and documents is crucial in discerning the role, if any, the Skull and Bones Society may have played in global mind control experiments. Every detail, every connection, brings us one step closer to the truth. Yet, in the world of secret societies, the truth is often as elusive as the societies themselves. As we delve deeper into this enigmatic world, we must remain vigilant, mindful of the fact that the line between fact and fiction can be perilously thin. The central theory surrounding the Skull and Bones Society alleges that the group is not just a secret society in the traditional sense, but an organization with a far more sinister and far-reaching agenda. Critics and conspiracy theorists argue that the Skull and Bones Society, behind its veil of secrecy, is orchestrating a grand scheme of global manipulation, pulling strings from behind the scenes and subtly influencing the course of world events. The allegations are as vast as they are ominous. The society is accused of manipulating global finance, controlling influential government bodies, and even directing the trajectory of wars. Some theorists suggest that the society's influence extends to the world's largest financial institutions, shaping global economies according to their clandestine goals. Others claim the society is deeply intertwined with political leadership, with its members holding key positions in governments worldwide. The society's reach supposedly extends into the highest echelons of power, from the White House to the United Nations, where they are said to shape policies that further their hidden agenda. Some even believe that the society has played a part in instigating or prolonging conflicts, subtly manipulating world leaders and influencing the outcomes of wars. These theories often point to the society's alleged connection to the CIA and its involvement in covert operations. The society is also accused of manipulating cultural and religious institutions. Some theorists argue that the society uses the media and arts to subtly influence public sentiment, steering societal norms and values towards their desired direction. They suggest the society might be deploying sophisticated psychological techniques to subtly control the collective consciousness. Religion, too, has not been exempt from these conspiracy theories. Some argue that the society is using religious influence to control the masses, pushing forward their own interpretation of spirituality and morality to shape societal behavior. The link between the Skull and Bones Society and alleged global mind control experiments is drawn from these various theories. It's suggested that the society is using its influence over global institutions and its control over the media to conduct large-scale psychological experiments on the public. The aim, some argue, is to control the human mind, manipulating thought patterns and behaviors to suit the society's clandestine goals. These allegations, though unproven, paint a picture of a society that is far more than a mere social club for the elite. They suggest an organization that is deeply embedded in the fabric of global power structures, manipulating world events according to their secret agenda. Whether these theories hold any truth, however, remains a matter of intense debate. Delving into the evidence, the Skull and Bones Society has left a trail of intriguing clues that some argue point to their covert activities. For example, the Society's headquarters, known as the Tomb, is a windowless sandstone building on the Yale campus. Its exterior is adorned with mysterious symbols, including a skull and crossbones, the Society's infamous emblem. It's suggested that the building's impenetrable facade is a metaphor for the Society itself, impenetrable and guarded, a sanctuary for secrets. Further, the Society's initiation rituals are steeped in mysticism. Leaked descriptions of these ceremonies describe members swearing an oath of secrecy, reinforcing an air of exclusivity and intrigue around the Society's activities. Some theorists believe these initiation rituals serve a dual purpose, not only binding members together, but also serving as a form of psychological conditioning to ensure loyalty to the Society's cause. Even the Society's emblem, the skull and crossbones, is seen as a symbol of their alleged activities. The symbol, traditionally associated with danger, mortality, and defiance, is seen by some as a sign of the Society's presumed intent to control and manipulate. In addition to these symbols, the Society's use of numerology is often highlighted. The Society is known to place significance on the number 322, which is even seen in their official emblem. The exact meaning of this number is a topic of much speculation, with theories ranging from it being a reference to a secret chapter of the Society to it signifying the year of the Society's true founding. Some even suggest it's a coded reference to their mind control experiments. Moreover, the Society's influence over powerful institutions and individuals can't be ignored. Many of its members have gone on to hold high-ranking positions in government, business, and academia. The society's influence is seen in the policies enacted by these individuals and the decisions they make, leading some to suspect a hidden hand guiding their actions. However, despite these clues, much about the society remains shrouded in mystery. The society's secretive nature and the lack of concrete evidence make it difficult to definitively link them to global mind control experiments. Much of the evidence is circumstantial and open to interpretation, and many of the claims are based on hearsay and speculation. Nevertheless, the society's influence, its symbols, and the surrounding secrecy continue to fuel the conspiracy theories. The question remains, are these mere coincidences, or do they point to a hidden agenda? The search for definitive proof continues, but for now, the Skull and Bones Society remains an enigma, shrouded in mystery and speculation. Yet the theories surrounding the Skull and Bones Society are not met without resistance. Mainstream media, academic institutions, and official channels have frequently responded to such allegations, often denying or downplaying the existence and influence of the society. Some argue this could be part of a coordinated effort to suppress the society's true activities. Mainstream media, for instance, tend to label the theories as conspiracy theories, thus casting doubt on their validity. They often present the society as a simple college fraternity, focusing on the benevolent activities of its members rather than delving into the darker allegations. This narrative paints the society as a harmless group of privileged students, and subtly, the idea of a global mind control conspiracy becomes far-fetched, even laughable. Academic institutions, particularly Yale University, where the society is based, have also been seen to dismiss these theories. The society is often portrayed as a historical artifact, a relic of the past that holds no real power in the contemporary world. Its supposed influence is relegated to the realm of fiction and mythology, effectively silencing those who dare to question its activities. Moreover, official channels, such as government bodies and law enforcement agencies, have remained largely silent on the matter. When pressed, they often deny having any knowledge of the society's activities or even its existence. This silence could be interpreted as a form of tacit approval, a sign that these organizations are either unwilling or unable to pursue any investigation into the society. Yet, the counter-narratives and dismissals raised by these institutions do not entirely dispel the speculation. Instead, they appear to fuel it. The lack of transparency and the consistent efforts to downplay or dismiss the allegations have led some to believe that these institutions are actively trying to suppress the truth about the Skull and Bones Society. The more they deny, the stronger the belief grows among those who suspect the society's influence. Could this be an orchestrated effort to bury the truth, or is it simply a case of institutions protecting their reputation? The answer remains elusive. What is clear, however, is the contrast between the public narrative and the persistent speculations about the society's activities. Yet, even as the debate rages on, the Skull and Bones Society remains shrouded in secrecy, its activities hidden behind a veil of denial and counter-narratives. The question remains, are these responses an attempt to hide the truth or a reasonable reaction to unfounded conspiracy theories? The search for answers continues, with each denial, each counter-narrative, adding another layer to the mystery that surrounds the Skull and Bones Society. Peering beyond the veil of secrecy and counter-narratives, it's essential to examine the philosophical underpinnings and spiritual ideologies associated with secret societies like the Skull and Bones. Understanding these beliefs may offer insights into their purported objectives and methods, including the alleged global mind control experiments. The Skull and Bones Society, like many secret societies, has been linked to esoteric teachings, some of which trace their origins to ancient civilizations. These teachings often delve into metaphysical concepts, exploring the nature of reality, consciousness, and the universe. They explore the hidden dimensions of human existence, proposing theories about the interconnectedness of all things and the existence of higher planes of reality. One such belief prevalent among secret societies is the concept of a global consciousness. This idea, rooted in the ancient philosophies of Hermeticism and Gnosticism, posits that all humans are intrinsically linked through a collective consciousness. According to this view, influencing this collective consciousness could theoretically influence individual minds, aligning them with a specific agenda or worldview. This belief could serve as a philosophical foundation for the alleged mind control experiments. Moreover, many secret societies are known to enact rituals, often deeply symbolic and rooted in their esoteric teachings. For the Skull and Bones Society, these rituals are rumored to include initiations that involve a symbolic death and rebirth, mirroring the metaphysical concept of transcendence and transformation. Rituals like these could be interpreted as vehicles for indoctrination, subtly shaping the worldview of their members. In tandem with these rituals, the society's goals may also be influenced by their spiritual and philosophical beliefs. If the society truly believes in the potential for a unified global consciousness, their objectives might extend beyond mere pursuit of wealth or political power. They may be aiming for something far more profound and far-reaching, a shift in global consciousness that aligns with their esoteric worldview. The society's view of humanity also seems to reflect their spiritual leanings. A common thread among secret societies is the belief in an enlightened or illuminated elite, a select group with access to hidden knowledge and the ability to shape the course of human destiny. This belief could foster a sense of superiority and justify their secrecy, as they view themselves as guardians of knowledge too profound or dangerous for the uninitiated. In summary, the spiritual and philosophical dimensions of the Skull and Bones Society provide a richer context for understanding the society's alleged activities. These esoteric beliefs and practices could potentially inform their methods, aims, and worldview. While they do not prove the existence of global mind control experiments, they do suggest a framework within which such endeavors might be conceivable. This adds another layer of complexity to the already enigmatic nature of the Skull and Bones Society. The seemingly invisible touch of secret societies can be traced in various aspects of modern society. While it might seem like an exaggeration, the connection becomes notably convincing when one delves into specifics. For instance, the Skull and Bones Society has been linked to the highest echelons of American politics. Several U.S. presidents, including William Howard Taft and George W. Bush, were members of this society during their time at Yale. This has led to speculation that the society's influence extends into the corridors of power, potentially shaping national and global policies. Beyond politics, the society's influence is allegedly found in the corporate world. Members of the Skull and Bones Society have held significant positions in major corporations and financial institutions. It's suggested that this infiltration allows the society to control economic trends, manipulate markets, and even shape consumer behavior, all of which could be used as tools in a wider mind control experiment. In the realm of pop culture, secret societies have left an indelible mark. They are often depicted in movies, TV shows, and books, usually as shadowy organizations wielding immense power. Through these depictions, they subtly shape public perception and discourse, potentially normalizing their existence and influence. Religion, too, is not exempt from their reach. Some theorists argue that secret societies have infiltrated major religious institutions, subtly altering doctrines and rituals to align with their esoteric beliefs. This influence could potentially extend to the shaping of moral and ethical frameworks, influencing how individuals perceive right and wrong, good and evil. Finally, a more controversial theory posits that secret societies are behind the formation of global governance institutions, such as the United Nations and the World Bank. These organizations have the power to affect lives on a global scale through policies and economic directives. If secret societies do have a hand in these institutions, they could potentially influence or even control the course of human civilization. The alleged influence of secret societies in these modern institutions hints at a persisting and evolving presence. It suggests that their reach extends far beyond the confines of their secretive chambers, infiltrating various aspects of society. These theories, while speculative, provide a fascinating lens through which to view the role of secret societies in the modern world. By subtly shaping perceptions, beliefs, and behaviors, These societies could indeed be engaging in a form of global mind control, as improbable as it may seem. Whether this influence is benign or malevolent, incidental or intentional, remains a topic of debate. However, it's undeniable that the cultural footprint of secret societies like the Skull and Bones Society is deeply embedded in various facets of society. This omnipresence, coupled with their esoteric beliefs and practices, lends credence to the possibility of their involvement in global mind control experiments. Even as we grapple with these theories, there are those who push the boundaries of speculation even further. They suggest that secret societies are not just influencing world events and institutions, but that they are engaged in more sinister activities that assert control over humanity's very essence. One such theory is the concept of bloodline control. Proponents believe that the world's most powerful secret societies consist of a small group of elite families, often referred to as the bloodline elites, who have maintained power for generations. They argue that these families, through selective intermarriage, have preserved their influence and wealth over centuries, if not millennia. This bloodline control theory is often linked to the Illuminati and the Rothschilds, among other secret societies and powerful families. Another radical theory delves into the supernatural. Some speculate that these secret societies harness occult practices and black magic to assert their control. They believe that rituals and symbols play a significant role in these societies, used to manipulate energies and entities beyond the understanding of the general public. This theory often cites the use of symbolism in media and architecture as evidence of this covert manipulation. The realm of science fiction also offers a fascinating perspective. Some theorists posit that secret societies are in contact with extraterrestrial beings, gaining advanced knowledge and technology to further their agendas. While this theory is perhaps the most speculative, it's worth noting that it has seeped into mainstream discourse, with the recent declassification of unidentified aerial phenomenon by various governments. Lastly, there's the idea of secret societies pushing a transhumanist agenda. Transhumanism is a movement that advocates for the use of technology to enhance human intellect and physiology, potentially even achieving immortality. Some theorists speculate that the elite groups control advancements in artificial intelligence, genetic engineering, and nanotechnology to serve their purposes. They suggest that these technologies could be used to manipulate human evolution and consciousness, essentially creating a new form of mind control. These theories, radical as they might be, underscore the extent of influence and control that secret societies could theoretically exert. They tap into our anxieties about power, control, and the unknown, providing an unsettling but captivating narrative of the hidden forces that could be shaping our world. Whether any of these theories hold water, or if they merely reflect our collective fears and uncertainties, remains a question open to interpretation. Regardless, their existence within the public discourse continues to fuel the intrigue and mystery surrounding secret societies. Beyond the theories and speculations that we've delved into, there lie countless unanswered questions and hidden truths. The cloak of secrecy that enshrouds these societies makes it impossible to fully discern the extent of their influence and control. The lack of tangible evidence leaves room for speculation, and it's this ambiguity that continues to fuel the mystery and suspicion surrounding secret societies. One might wonder, are these societies truly capable of orchestrating global mind control experiments? Or is this merely a product of our collective paranoia and fear of the unknown? The truth, it seems, remains obscured by a veil of secrecy and a labyrinth of unanswered questions. The continued existence of these secret societies, in spite of the skepticism and suspicion shrouding them, suggests a level of influence and resilience that cannot simply be dismissed. Despite the lack of concrete evidence, their presence in our world remains undeniable. The symbols associated with them, their alleged members in positions of power, the historical events they are supposedly linked to, all these continue to spark curiosity and fuel the fire of conspiracy theories. The narratives spun around secret societies and their supposed mind control experiments reflect our deep-seated anxieties and fears about who truly holds power in our world and to what ends this power is wielded. These narratives challenge us to question not only the nature of power, control, and influence, but also the stories we are told about our world and the individuals and entities that shape these narratives. And so we're left standing at the crossroads of fact and fiction, reality and conspiracy. The hard evidence may be elusive, the full truth perhaps forever concealed within the guarded chambers of these secret societies, but the questions remain. They persist, echoing in the corridors of our collective consciousness, urging us to wonder, to question, to challenge. Who is really pulling the strings? Who holds the keys to the hidden vaults of power and influence? Are we merely pawns in a grand game, our thoughts, actions, and lives manipulated by unseen hands? Or is the truth far simpler, or perhaps even more complex than we could ever imagine? These are the questions that we are left with, the enigmas that continue to haunt us. In the face of these unanswered queries, we are reminded of the importance of skepticism and critical thinking. We are urged to question the stories we are told, to challenge the narratives presented to us, and to seek the truth, no matter how elusive it may be. Because in the end, the power to shape our perceptions and our world lies not in the hands of hidden societies, but within us, the individuals who dare to question, to wonder, and to seek. Thanks for listening. This has been another episode of Secret Society's podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to follow us wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you'd like to support the show, subscribe to the Forbidden Knowledge Network on Patreon. Subscribe now.